How's it going, everybody? So today we're going to talk about, will God give you whatever you want? Okay? Now, if you ask almost any pastor or any Christian this question, they'll probably say something like, well, if it's God's will, and they'll also kind of try to tell you that anything and everything that happens is God's will. Um, Let me just say that doesn't make sense to me because I don't see how it is God's will for anyone to get divorced. I don't see how it is God's will for anyone to be murdered. um, a lot of things happen that are not God's will, which is why we have free will. Okay, so but let's get back to the topic. Okay, will God give us whatever we want? And most people will tell you, well, if it's His will, then He'll do it. Well, let's look at what the Scripture says. Okay, several places in the Bible, it says this, but we're going to be looking at the passage from the Gospel of Mark, where it says, anything you ask of God when you believe you have received it, He will give it. That's what it says, and it means what it says. Anything you ask of God, okay? When you believe you have received it, He will give it. Now, I'm going to explain this in a way that I've never heard it explained like this before, okay? So, let's just say, hypothetically, okay, that every person that gets close to you eventually lets you down or abandons you, okay? Well, then your beliefs about people are probably something like, everyone that gets close to me lets me down or abandons me, which is a logical belief because it's based on your past experiences. Now, if you analyze anything that you believe about yourself and about relationships and about money, it is all solely based in what you have experienced. But what is this verse saying? When you believe you have received it, He will give it. Indirectly, this verse is saying that God is going to meet you wherever you believe. So there is nothing logical about somebody who has always been let down by people to come to the belief or the conclusion or the assumption that people don't let them down, that people are always faithful to them. But why would it be a good idea for this person to come to this conclusion? Because God is going to meet them where they believe, okay? If your beliefs about yourself are solely based on your past experiences, then that is a victim mindset and a victim mentality. That is not taking control over your life and taking control over things, and that is being a victim of circumstances, okay? No. If you think that you're not worthy of something, you will never be worthy of it. And it's never going to happen. But if you believe you are worthy of it, then surely it's going to happen. So this is why God always gives us what we believe. This is why it is worth it to change our beliefs. When we base our beliefs on what we want to experience, rather than on what we have experienced, then that's what we're going to get. If people are always letting you down, you need to change what you believe about that. Because it's solely your belief that is causing that to happen. This is not a prosperity gospel, and this is not taking away from anyone's free will, okay? This only applies to the things in this life. This does not apply to spiritual things, okay? Whatever, if you can choose to believe whatever you want to believe about yourself. You don't have to believe, you don't have to have beliefs about yourself that are solely based on what people have told you or on what you have experienced. No. You can choose to believe whatever you want to believe about yourself, and when you do that, you will be forced to conform to exactly that. And this is what this verse is indirectly saying, okay? That God will always give you what you believe. It's a law that governs our universe like any other law. So, I understand this is a complicated subject, and I also want to point out that changing what you believe about yourself and about relationships and things like that, it could take some work. It's not something that you could just snap your fingers and your beliefs are changed, okay? It can take some work, okay? And in the future, I'll put out a video that talks about how to do that, okay? Um, but you don't have to be a victim to your past experiences or your beliefs anymore, because you can choose to believe whatever you want about yourself. And when you do that, your reality is forced to conform to it. Everything you experience out here is created from what you believe. So I'd be more than happy to answer anybody's questions on this topic, and I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody about this. So if you have any questions, like and subscribe, leave a comment. See you guys next time. Bye.